What the hell was that? Josh, what was that? Portholers unite? I don't even know if that sounds good, but I know your heart was in it, and that's what means the world. How you guys doing? Welcome to Friday night as we dive into another fun-filled episode of the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we're going to do a deep dive into all the deep, amazing subject matter that we have to deal with here. Oh, Justin Goodearth. How you doing, brother? He said, it's alive. And Big D came in over on the Rumble. Both those guys are over there. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I ran a little late because I had some technical issues here in the studio. But God bless us. It was actually dealing with that screen right there. And I realized that I didn't redo this. So I should put up the portal over there. Stick with me while I do that. Right here behind the scenes kind of stuff. If I can do it with my left hand, we'll see. There. Does that look a little more familiar? That's a little bit of the magic behind the mirror over here. So there it is. I think it's working, so that's good. Yeah, the whole screen was dead, and I was like, oh no. I didn't want to have to deal with that tonight. But anyway, what do we do? We already got 100 chat messages. Are you serious? Wow, you guys are talking. Josh Casto remembered. God bless you, sir. Josh remembered. If you didn't catch Wednesday's show, I had a great discussion with Mr. Brian Bowden, and we had a good talk. He's a really good guy. I've really come to know and like him in more recent days, or more recent weeks, months, I guess. But it's just another cool connection to have. He's just a really neat guy. So we had a great talk. If you hadn't seen that episode, check it out. Brian's a pretty fascinating guy. He's got his hands and feet into all kinds of the weirdness that we know and love. So yeah, just a great resource and a great guest. We had a good talk. So if you didn't see that, you can check out the historical episodes of the Portal. Did you know that there are about 1,800 Paranormal Portal streams on YouTube? That's how long I've been doing this. There's that many of them. And I don't know, maybe I'm not doing it as good as I should be because, usually when channels have that kind of material, they're at like, into the 6-7 digit range. But either way, I've been having a blast doing it, and it's all on the, video on demand archive. So you can certainly check those out if there's ever a time when it's between shows and you're like, God, I could sure use some Portal right now. Well, there's 1,800 episodes of Portal just waiting for you. They're not all the 2-hour ones. A lot of them are 1-hour shows that I used to do. I used to do shows every single day of the week for years. And got to be a lot of work, but I loved it. But I needed to step back a little bit because I was going into personal meltdown mode. So that's how I got back eventually to 3 episodes, which is what we're doing now. We stream live every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday right here on all of these platforms of fun. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook or X or Twitch. Twitch doesn't have the archives option, though. It holds on to them for a little while, and then it dumps them off. But in any case, we're over on Twitch because why not? There's just a lot of opportunity, I guess, to put the name out there, and maybe people will remember it and go, hey, I remember seeing that somewhere. Let me check out that show. So that's called branding, and that's what we're doing. But anyway, it's Friday night. We got a lot to get to. Of course, I believe Sheldon will be coming in. I'm a firecracker and M80. I don't know which one. It depends on the day, Eric. Some days I'm a firecracker. Some days I'm just a smoldering punk, and the other days I'm a freaking stick of dynamite. It just depends on the day. But anyway, Francisco Osa giving us hearts over there on Facebook. Good to see you, Francisco. Thank you for coming in and checking out the show. Good to see you all. Phil Funk, John Stevenson, again, Josh Casto, Werewolf, John Stevenson again. Eric Fry is here, and Dale Atkinson, BLB so much Jake. BLB stands for Blue Line Bigfoot. Our brothers from over on the other coast there, Adam and Jake. Wonderful guys. Bogart is here. Bill Simone is here. John Tempern is here. The Johns are represented. BJ Lapierre is here. Good to see you. Elaine Clifford. Barry Anderson is checking it out on Facebook. Mickey G is here. Excellent to have all you guys here. Just going through the list. Giving everybody my independent love or individual love. I'm not sure if I have an independent love. I think it's just love. Let's see. Is there any other names? Rachel Gets It Right is here, of course. Maggie is here. Good to see you guys. Appreciate your love and presence through the years, both of you. You guys have been with us a long time, and it's just awesome. Deborah Neighbors is here. Brandy Copeland is here. Great to have you. Thank you, guys. And I think, is that it? Is that it for the new names? I'm just scrolling quickly because there's a lot of back and forth. It was like, wow, you guys are chatting. How did I get like 50 restream messages for having 100 messages? Like literally, I'm scrolling through a freaking plethora of these messages. That's crazy. Should only send me one, but it sent me like 30 of them. I don't know. I don't know how that's working, but anyway, I got back up to names again on the top end of that. And I think that's everybody that I can see so far. Anyway, I don't know of any other name. I know Phil was first in the door again, that I saw over on Facebook or on YouTube when I was setting up the show. Owl 13's here. Good to see you. And Elaine. Okay. And Bad Boy's here. Good to see you, Bad Boy. All right. Excellent to have you guys all here. Thank you so much. Kat Doherty came in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in and checking out the shows. As always, it's been fun to have you here, Kat. All right, so we got a lot going on. Sheldon will be along eventually. I think he will. I sent him a link, expecting his attendance at some point. But hi, Barbara Mora over on Rumble as well. So we got 3 of them over there on Rumble. 3 chatting, I should say. I shouldn't say just 3 because there's always more watching. They're just hanging out, and that's fine too. You don't have to chat to be a part of the show, but it's perfectly wonderful if you do, because then I can say hi to you personally. But in any case, we're going to be getting to the news here shortly, and then we're going to get to the what the hell is that? I got a few videos I'm going to show you guys today. I hope it works out well. In my mind, it's going to work out fine, but they're all Facebook videos. So a couple of things I wanted to point out. Ain't no party like a paranormal portal, because a paranormal portal party never stops. That sounds like a shirt. I like it. Thank you, brother. Yeah, good to see you all. Jason Finch just popped in. Good to see you, Jason. Thank you for coming in. All right, so I guess without further delay, let's get to some news and find out just what the hell's going on in the world around us, because there's always something, especially nowadays. Holy God, what the hell? Buckle up, we're going in. I mean, it's just been crazy. Before I went live, the ghost box spit out the word, the number 30. I don't know what the hell that means, but 30. Okay. Just so you know, fantastic show earlier today with Matt Knapp. Oh yeah. I did was Matt Knapp's guest on his podcast. We had a good talk yesterday. We recorded it yesterday, and he aired it today, but it was a good talk. I like talking to Matt. Matt's a great guy. He's been a longtime friend as well, and we talk a lot outside of the shows, just, messaging back and forth, calling, etc. He's a nice guy. Matt's a good guy. He's been at this a long time, and he's a real good person too. So that's not, I don't know whose shirt that would be, Josh. You said potholers. Sounds like you should be at a cannabis shop. Oh, Port. There he goes. He sent the correction. I gotcha. Hey, the Goblin's in here. Is that right? There you are. Good to see you, Goblin. Thanks for coming in. All right, so let's get to the news and see what the hell else we can dig up before the night is over, because we got 2 full hours of this. So buckle up, folks. It's going to be an absolute thrill ride of the imagination right here on the Paranormal Portal. All right, time for the news. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. And in the news, of course, is me, your anchor, Brent Thomas. I'll be directing the ship through the news-averse, and we'll see what's come up on the ticker today. We got a few articles to get through. As always, throughout the course of the show, I utilize a lot of different sites, and I just implore you guys, please check out these sites. They are so exceptionally well done. There's so much incredible information. I know you guys are going to love them all. So pay attention to the articles that I do read, because I will let you know where they're from. And go check out these sites. There's so much incredible information on every one of these sites. They are so professionally maintained and updated. So please support what they're doing, because your traffic equals revenue. So help them out. Keep the lights on. All right. The first article we're going to get to, if I have the right browser window open. Wait, I got to do this first. I didn't realize I didn't do that yet, but I'm doing it now. We've got 43 people in the house. Good to have you all here. In YouTube, anyway. We've got more on other places, of course, but at least that's a good base number to work with. Welcome, everybody. So we're going to start the news, and topping off the news, of course, is an incredible site where we draw most of our news from, and that is an incredible site known as unexplained-mysteries.com. Now, I do say the dash every time very intentionally, because I'm sure there's an unexplainedmysteries.com out there that's not the same site. So I want to make sure to give props to the site that has given me so much incredible content. All right, so here we go from the paleontology files of unexplained-mysteries.com comes our first article, and this is, I don't know if you guys ever heard about this. Do you remember hearing about it? But there was something like a new skull that was found, and they said, "Ooh, they called it the Dragon Man." And there was some forensic reconstructions that were done to see what the Dragon Man looked like, and they thought it was this new, I don't know, new humanoid, human forebearer. I don't know, hominid, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Dragon Man fossil turns out to be the world's only known Denisovan skull. So I guess they figured out it was a Denisovan. That's what the Dragon Man is. And it's interesting when you look at that. I mean, look at that. There, I mean, this really does look like an ancestor to Bigfoot, doesn't it? When you think of the huge brow ridge, like here, here's a human skull. This. And then you compare it to that. Look at the cranium space we got up here. And that brow ridge is pretty, I mean, it's there over the eyes, but it's not so huge. But when you look at that, that's pretty incredible. Oh, yeah. I get a phone call from my other brother, but he's not going to get a hold of me now because I'm busy. But yeah, there's a human skull. That's a Denisovan skull, I guess. So there you can see there's quite a bit of difference. Some similarities. Look at the size of those eye sockets, though. You know they had night vision, right? I mean, they had to have. Those eyes are just enormous. So not a lot of brain, but a lot of eyeball. So that is the breakdown. Welcome to the Portal Anatomy class. Let's read the article here and see what it says. A fossilized human skull discovered in the 1930s has now been identified as that of an elusive ancient species of human. Originally unearthed by a construction worker during the building of a bridge across the Songhua River in Harbin, China, the skull named the Dragon Man only came to light when the man's family decided to donate it to Hebei Geo University in, wow, that's a lot of letters. Xinjiang. I guess. I don't know if that's even close, but I'm trying. Back in 2018. In 2021, the researchers declared that it belonged to a new species of human, Homo longi, but okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Rather not alone. But as it would turn out, there was more to the skull than met the eye. Now, 2 new studies headed up by paleontologist Kwame Fu from the Chinese Academy of Sciences have revealed that the skull is far from being that of a new species. It's actually that of a Denisovan, making this the first known skull of the species ever identified. Before this, all we had to go on to understand the Denisovans were a few fossil fragments. To identify the skull, the team extracted proteins from the petroeus bone, as well as mitochondrial DNA from the plaque on its teeth. Jeez. The finding that the human DNA from the Harbin specimen is better preserved in the dental calculus than in dense bones, including the petroeus bone, suggests that the dental calculus may be a valuable source for investigating DNA in Middle Pleistocene human hominids, the researchers wrote. The findings indicate that the Denisovans were not that unlike other species of ancient humans from that time, although further fossil discoveries could change this conclusion in the future. The DNA has also helped to more conclusively identify other fossil fragments as those of Denisovans. As for Homo longi, however, sadly, it seems that this particular human ancestor never actually existed. Well, there you go. Again, we don't know much more than this is the way the skull looked. Like a lot of times when they're reconstructing, when they reconstructed the Dragon Man, it looked like, actually it looked surprisingly like a Twitch streamer that's known as S-Fan. He's a neat guy and all that, but anyway, they made him with a big bushy beard and long black hair, and it looked like kind of a hippie kind of guy, I guess, for the lack of a better term. But these things could have been covered like, monkeys with hair. We don't know.
Nicholas.
Is that his name, Nicholas? Was this Nicholas, the Denisovan? Was his name? Could be. I don't know. I don't know how cultured they were, but anyway, might be Nicholas. The ghost box said Nicholas. So anyway, I don't know. That's the first piece of news. I guess it's a Denisovan skull. There isn't any Homo longi. That's just not right in so many ways. I'm such a child. Sorry, folks. Anyway, let's get to the next article, because there's always more here on the news, and we're going to get to that now. I don't understand this one at all, but this is from the world of the bizarre files of unexplained-mysteries.com. Utah man arrested after attacking werewolf with a wooden stake. That's for vampires, mister. What the hell? All right, let's check out this article. I don't know what we're going here, but this sounds pretty intense. The man, who hails from Salt Lake City, reportedly threatened to pierce the heart of his unsuspecting victim. The incident came to light when police officers were called out on the afternoon of Sunday, June 14th, to attend a disturbance involving 24-year-old Jose Manuel Perez. And according to reports, Perez had been having lunch with another man when he suddenly took out a wooden stake with a nail protruding from it and started attacking him. After placing the victim in a chokehold, he then proceeded to threaten to pierce him through the heart with the stake because he had become convinced that this man was in fact a werewolf. Fortunately, the victim was able to break free and to escape. When officers caught up with Perez, he was in possession of the other man's backpack and maintained that he believed that the werewolf had intended to kill him. In the end, he was booked on one count of aggravated robbery. Exactly why he believed the other man to be a werewolf remains unclear. Yeah, that's definitely not a good reflection on the field of cryptozoology. I don't think that probably his victim was a werewolf, but anyway, that's the news. There's all types in the world. There's all types. You just don't know what you're running into. Be careful out there, folks. Some people aren't handling life very well. So keep your distance. Keep it a safe distance. All right, let's go to the next one. This is the last one for tonight from the UFO phenomena. Newly discovered military video shows disc-shaped UFO over the Middle East. This is the first time hearing of this, so I didn't know about this before today. Let's see what it says. The footage was recorded by military personnel over the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Reportedly captured on thermal camera back in 2020, the video, which shows what appears to be a large disc-shaped object, barely visible among heavy cloud cover, was recently published by investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. This is the first time in history that military filmed footage of a disc-shaped UAP, designated as such by the military, has been captured on camera and released to the public, Corbell told the Mail Online. It has implications that are absolutely huge. The footage viewable below, which we will view that, so hang on to your hats, features several clips, including the original raw footage as well as the enhanced version created by the U.S. government. Oh, that makes you wonder how much did they enhance? Or I don't know. We'll find out. According to Corbell and Knapp, internal documents concerning the object describe it as a disc and claim that it was navigating through the clouds. The lack of any notable heat signature from the object adds to its anomalous nature. You do not see plumes of heat coming off this disc-shaped object, said Corbell. This was captured on a thermal sensor. It should have detected heat if any traditional propulsion was present, but there's nothing. And that's one of the wildest aspects. The pair have reportedly spent 2 years authenticating the footage. The source is legit. We know it's real, said Knapp. It was not supposed to be made public, but it should have been. There's depth of field, Corbell added. There's relative distance. The shape is undeniable. And the movement, it's extraordinary. You're seeing it dip into the clouds and then emerge and reverse direction. That's not an artifact. That's a real object in motion. That is interesting. Well, God bless them, because we're going to go to Jeremy Corbell's YouTube page and actually take a look at this footage. So here we go, folks. I don't know if there's sound. Hopefully there's no music, but I will mute the music if there is. But let's check it out. This is from Jeremy Corbell's YouTube page. A big UAP, disc-shaped UAP. Let's check it out. Okay, there's no sound. So there's the sighting reticle there. Maybe we should do this so you can really see what we're looking at here. I'm just watching. Was there a video one? What are we looking at? Oh, that's it. Right? Was that it there? Okay, so these must be stars then. Oh, there it goes again. Okay. There it is. Huh. Hey, look at that. Video 3. I don't know what that is. There it is. It just appeared. Okay. Why does it seem to have a halo? Is that just from ultra contrasting it or something? I don't know, but you can probably learn more by going over to Jeremy Corbell's YouTube channel and checking it out yourself. But that's pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating. And there's other supplemental videos that probably will help you understand what their work is. He and George have been working together. They worked on the Bob Lazar stuff together as well. So pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. I don't know how it got leaked. I don't know the background information of this video at all. This is literally the first time I'm hearing any mention of it, but it is fascinating. And it could be great substantiation to prove we're not alone. Not only in the cosmos, but here on our very planet. That these intelligences are visiting us from wherever it is they come from. We don't know necessarily where they come from, but we don't know where they come from, but it's clearly, they're clearly here. I had no question about that since I had personally seen a UFO, but actually on a few occasions, but the first time was just like, there it is. That was the most intense sighting I've ever had, but I've since seen plenty of anomalous things in the sky that I'm pretty sure are UFOs, but that looks like pretty good footage. I don't know what to make of it. And again, it's thermal, so you're not seeing heat. You're not seeing, and it looks like they're doing it in a white scale of heat, cold, black and white, basically a contrast point. And it doesn't seem to have any abnormal heat that would be present with any conventional propulsion. So it does look pretty good. I'm fascinated by that, and I guess time will tell. What does this mean, or where did they go with this? I don't know, but it's definitely another real solid entry into the potential evidence of extraterrestrial or extra dimensional or whatever that means, life, that may very well be visiting us. So you saw it here. If you never saw that before, you're welcome. There it is. So I think that was our third article. So there you go. Wasn't that the third one? Was that the third one or the second one? I think that was the third. Was it? I don't even remember. Great show, Wiley6 says. God bless you, Wiley. Appreciate it. So we did the Denisovan guy, we did the werewolf guy, and we did the UFO. So I'll do more tomorrow night, but that's it for tonight's news-a-thon. 3 fantastic articles dealing with the news. That's the news as we know it, folks. Let's get back to the rest of the show. Hey, MCAT, good to see you. Thanks for coming in, brother. MCAT's like old school. He's old school, Paranormal Portal. Good to see you, man. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show. And there it is. That was the news. And here he is, Mr. Big Branch himself. How you doing, Mr. Sheldon Thomas?
What's up? Hello, everyone. My Lord, it has been.
You can just call me Dad.
Time apart.
You said my Lord, but you can just call me Dad. Thank you.
Good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How you doing?
It is. Oh man, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just got done eating, got home. Feeling great. It's Friday, and we're back with the portal. Finally, after these 3 weeks of busy weekends.
Yeah, it's okay. We're always got time for you. Oh, we got a donation going on. Josh Casto coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Looks like Brandy from the Blondes and Booze is now official too. You and Krista both have honorary memberships here to the portal. So welcome. Shane Wilson got one. Congratulations, Shane. Karen Sutherland, I think that's pronounced Karen. Welcome, Karen Sutherland. You're now an official member of the Paranormal Portal, as well as Lydia Bell. Fantastic. And the Sludge Count as well. So all of you guys are brand new members to the channel. You have 1 month trial membership. I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, you can continue. If you don't, you don't have to. But special thanks to Josh for making that happen, brother. That's incredible. Very incredible. Actually, Josh was a guest on my podcast a while back. So if you guys want to get a little inside look at Josh's experiences, check out the Portal podcast, because he was a guest last season. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, he's been an amazing supporter of the show ever since. So thank you so much, Josh. And before that, he was here hanging out with us a long time. So he's old school as well. So Sheldon Thomas is here. There's MCAT. Yeah. So everything been going good? You having a good start to your weekend?
Oh, I am. Oh, what a day I've had. But you know what? Today's the start of a great weekend, so I'm here for it. I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, did you get your patience tested a bit today?
My pacings?
Patience.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did.
I got you. Yeah, dealing with people is always a special kind of patience. And my hat's off to anybody that deals with people all the time. Not that, people, there's anything wrong with people, but anytime you're doing things interpersonally, you're going to end up with some person that just has no care in the world for whatever you think about anything. And it's like, wow, how do you deal with people like that? I don't even know. Jill Decker's over in Facebook. How you doing, Jill? Thanks for coming in. Just scrolling through. Hello Friend is here. I still like that name. Hello Friend.
I'd like that too.
Do you know why I like that name?
Does it remind you of something?
It does. Do you know what it reminds me of?
I think I do. I just can't remember the name of it. I can't remember.
Well, no, it actually reminds me of you.
What?
Yes, it's a you story, Sheldon.
What?
When you were little, you're about 2 or 3, and I took you to McDonald's Playland, and
Yeah.
and you were having a good time playing, and you met this other kid, and you came running over, and your little body and your little feet bobbing over. You're like, Dad, I made a friend. And I said, oh, really? You're like, yeah, I made a friend. And I said, what's his name? Friend. You said your friend's name was Friend. And it was another kid there. I mean, it wasn't like an imaginary thing, but it was, you just called, hey, friend, every time you saw him. So hello, friend reminds me of that. So that's a little autobiographical story of Sheldon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that one, but that's funny.
Yeah, it's just like it never occurred to you to get a name. You're just like, that's my friend. That's it.
Hello, friend. There it is.
That's it exactly. So, yeah, exactly. All right, so we are going to get back to an article that we've been burning through on Thought Catalog. We haven't touched it for a couple shows because we had Brian Bowden on the last one, and the show before that we just ran late. And so with what time was left, we just jumped into the cryptid corner. So we're going to hit it again tonight. But I guess we should we'll do it now.
All right.
I got these cheap ass Walmart waters because they were out of my normal brand.
Oh, no.
These things are literally one step over bubble wrap for plastic density. I mean, it's just like,
I know what you're talking
they are
about.
so cheap. It's like, oh my God. I'm always,
Unbelievably thin.
I've got this desk full of electronics like everywhere. And I am just like cringing every time I put it down. I'm like trying to be so careful because I'm pretty sure the damn thing's going to rupture if I squeeze at all. So they are just the cheapest bottles. I mean, the water's fine, but it's, as far as I know, but it was in one of those Walmart great value 40 packs. And I was like, oh God, it was all they had left. So
all those great microplastics in your system.
just like Mom used to make. Yeah, there you go. Actually, I made a casserole tonight. I was kind of proud of myself. It's kind of a Minnesota staple.
Wow.
I did. I made a casserole.
Whoa.
It's funny because some parts of the country, I don't know if every part of the country knows what a casserole is, but it's like, that's Midwest staple food. That's like, it's where, and I think it's probably born of the fact that you just had pieces and parts of a lot of other meals. So you just kind of threw them together with cream of mushroom soup in a dish and baked them for a while. I think that's the birthplace of casseroles.
Wait, what was the? Oh man, I remember. Oh, Nina used to make an amazing casserole.
Probably she made that pumpkin pasta. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She Portal Mom can cook. She can throw down. There's no question.
Oh, yes, she can. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get to this article because this isn't the food portal. All right. Let's get to this article, folks. We're going to get to it now. This is from Thought Catalog. If I get it up right. There we go. And we've been going through for a while. It's written by Eric Redding in 2016. I think it was last updated in 2022. But it's 20 of the spookiest first-person accounts of seeing an actual spirit in the real world. That's you. And then we got a really long title, but that's all I can see from the URL. And I just can't be bothered to scroll right now. Spirit, the Ghost Radar has been kind of busy. It said 30 first. It said 30 just as I was going live, and then it said Nicholas after that. So I don't know what those two words, if they mean anything or not. Hey, I got a ghost doll update.
No, that's not the good kind.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just it's just like, oh, that's new. So let me just go full screen here for a second. We'll get to the article in a second. So my little haunted doll, and it's haunted is speculative at best, but I had her in the chair right there, which is right over there, in the corner, and you can't really see it because it doesn't show up on the camera like it used to. I changed my angles and stuff with the new setup, but there's a chair over there, and that's where Dawn used to sit, or, a few times I had in-studio guests, that's where they sat, whatever. That's where you sat one time long ago. But anyway, I had the little ghost doll there. And then Mrs. Portal likes to come in and sit down in here and talk. And so she was like, just move it. So I moved it over to the musical side of the room, where in front of my other computer and keyboard and guitar and all that stuff. So it was over there, but then I needed to sit there, so I moved it back over here, and I set her back up over here in this chair. And a little fun fact, when I first saw her at the store, she had a little baby doll in her hands. And I only bought the one doll. I didn't buy the little baby doll that she was holding. But we were at the beach, and somebody had lost this little baby doll. And so I thought, that'd be kind of cute. Just, give her a little baby doll to hold on to. So it was abandoned on the beach, head in the sand and nothing pretty. But I thought, well, it'd be kind of cute. So we brought that home. And then I got home and I put the little baby doll in her arms, and she was sitting in her chair. And I thought, well, that's kind of cute. So, but anyway, like I said, I had to move her back over here. So I did, and I set her in the chair. And it's been days, and I don't even pay attention to it because honestly, I'm absolutely blind in peripheral vision anyway. Like, I don't have any peripheral vision in this eye because I was shot in the eye when I was 12, and it destroyed part of my eyeball. I don't have any peripheral vision. So I don't see over there anyway. It's just this black void. And when I do come and go, it's just to the door and back. I'm usually thinking and doing things, whatever. But then I sat down just yesterday, and I was like, And I looked over at that side of the room. Her head, when I set her down, was like this. And now it's like this. Like, she can see my monitors. It's like aimed at the monitors like she wants something to watch. Right? I mean, her head is turned like this now. It never was.
It's not Minion playing a prank.
No. He's rarely in here. He'll come in and say, hey, can I go ride my bike or whatever? But nobody even comes in here. Very rarely, except for Mrs. Portal. But she hasn't been in here for a while just to stop in and say something and leave. But then I noticed it. I was like, now is it possible something shifted? Maybe. It is. I'm not discounting the fact.
Sure.
But it's also possible that there's something going on with that little doll. I don't know, but it seems like she likes to watch the screens. So anyway, take of that what you will. I'm gonna probably do some EMF on it, or put a little sensor over there just to see if it ever goes off. But
yeah, you should.
Dale says that's a big nope. Did the cats move it? No, they won't even get in that chair since I put the doll there. They won't even get up in that chair. They just don't bother. And they, full fairness, they don't normally go up in that chair anyway, but once in a while they would jump up there, but they have not made any effort since I've had that doll. And it's not that they hiss and stare at it, but they just don't seem to want to go up there. So like I said, I don't think if it is something, I don't think it's real evil, but it's just maybe something. I don't know. That's just the first oddity that I've noticed with this thing since it's been in my house. So I thought I'd tell you guys about it. It's incredibly speculative, but maybe.
How long ago was that?
I just noticed it yesterday. I was like, what? Why? Oh my God. It's like facing the monitors. Because I'll sit in here and like screen videos and look at stuff, look up information. I'm always doing stuff. So, I'm sure it's more interesting than staring at the wall, if there is a consciousness there, right? So.
Now, the question I would have, and that I'm very curious of in a way, is could it in a sense be like a tulpa, type of thing where, we're all, we do talk, as far as I've been here, we always bring it up on the show. We always talk about it. It's aware of it. And we're always kind of wondering about that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I wonder if that kind of energy is creating something.
Well, it wouldn't be a tulpa because tulpas are usually in somebody's mind. They aren't usually manifestations of projection. They can be a creation of another personality, but it's usually inside somebody's head, not usually projected. But it could be an egregore of sorts. An egregore is the idea that if enough people believe in something, then it can actually take on a sentience of its own.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
That's the thing I meant. Yes.
Yep. It's watching the portal right now. It's sitting over there. She is absolutely looking at the chat. I swear to God, hand to God, she's reading the chat. So it looks like she's reading the chat, like she's over there looking at the chat. I swear Swear to God.
That is wild.
Let me take an image. I'll take a picture. And you
Yeah,
guys
put it up on the
Well, I'll try.
Discord.
I will try. And forgive the mess over in that side of the room. It's just still I'm not really I only worry about the parts that are on camera. Whoops, wrong thing. I got to actually open the phone. Here we go. And this is let's do it like this so she's looking at the camera. Pew. Okay. I will send it to myself. And you guys can see she was facing straight ahead and now she's not. So let's do this. I'm sending the image to me and you guys can see it for yourself. No. I'm not doing it. I just want to send it to me. Paranormal Portal. Okay. There it is. Sending it from my phone to my email. Oh, it's being slow.
Oh, no.
I will say yesterday when I recorded with Matt Knapp on his podcast, we were using his setup and stuff and it disconnected like crazy. And Matt's like, I don't understand this. This never happens ever. He's like, I've been so happy with this. So I will pull it up in a second here. I'm pulling it up on there. I got to refresh my email so it shows. There it is. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Oh my God. I'm just waiting in anticipation.
It's like I swear to God, she was looking straight ahead when I put her in that chair. And as she's facing now, it's like she's reading the freaking chat. I kid you not. There she is.
Where'd you? Oh, no! No!
Hand to God, folks. I didn't.
Oh, no.
She is checking out the chat and checking out the show. She's watching.
So her head was like 45 degrees, like just looking straight?
To the right, like it would be straight ahead. When I put her in there, it was straight ahead. Now it's that.
No.
It's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I also put some Bigfoot dolls in her lap too, but I surrounded her with love. Is that not creepy a little bit though?
Extremely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There she is. See one a little more close up. Look at that. Look at that chair. That's all beat up. There she is. It's like she's looking over here. That eye line is exactly to my screen where the chat is. Yep.
Oh my Lord.
Right? That's a little bizarre. I saw that. I went, oh my God. Yeah. I didn't do that.
Oh my God.
So, BJ Lapierre says Cammy, and that's the name she thinks the doll is loving the show. She loves it there with you. Well, good. I appreciate that. I hope she does. I'm not trying to create any problems for any of us, believe me. Look at how beat up that chair is. My God. That used to be my chair so many years ago. And that shows you how much mileage I put on chairs. And Mrs. Portal had to make a new cover because the underside of it looked worse than this.
The discoloration of the back.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, no, that's actually the fake leather had peeled off and it's just like some gluey fabric stuff. So
Well, I mean, on the back part of it, you see a little.
Oh yeah.
It's a little darker on where the back would rest.
Here? No, I don't think so. I think it's a shadow, Sheldon. We'll just say it's a shadow. Jeez.
It's a shadow. You're right.
You don't have to attack my studio like that. Well, there you go, folks. I wanted to share it with you. That's the new. It's beat up that doll. Poncho says. No, she's a sweetie. I think. I just think she's like BJ said. She's checking out the show. Computer.
Yeah, it may be innocent. It might be just innocent.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, there you go. That's the update on the doll. I just remembered that now because I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Brandy. If I start dreaming about the doll and start entering my dreams, then we have issues.
Well, definitely let me know because I'll change. I'll change the whole approach with this doll. If you guys start having doll nightmares, yeah.
It's reaching out through the chat. It's like she's trying to reach out to all you people in chat.
No.
All right, we have the unknown. Okay, next target right there.
No, yeah, yeah, exactly. I think she's just interested. Like it's something to look at. If there is an intelligence there, if she's just staring ahead at basically my bathrobe hanging there in a wall, she's gonna be like, well, this sucks. So why not? I mean, I'd look like that too if I was her. Yeah, it's just, it gets boring.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
There you go.
If you're soul trapped in a doll and you just stare at whatever it's looking at all day, oh god.
Well, okay, so here's my take on haunted dolls. This is kind of a little side note. I don't think all haunted dolls are there by choice. I think that perhaps some of them have been bound there, and that makes it horrible, and it makes it sad, and they may be trapped by practices that are less than good. So that's the part that worries me a lot about haunted dolls, is that there very well may be a presence in them, and they very well may be really unhappy, but they may not have chosen that for themselves. It might have been chosen for them. If you believe in that kind of ritualistic practice, then yeah, it's kind of a horrible thing. But yeah, there's some dark esoteric practices that deal with binding spirits to things, and it's horrible. So, yeah.
Oh, it's a good question, Rachel. Does face recognition work on the doll with your phone camera?
I don't know. Never tried it, I guess. I don't know how you know. You mean if it makes that box over it or something?
Might be. I think that's what.
I don't think my phone ever does that anyway. Let me see if it does it to the screen. Yeah, it's boxing you and me. So let's see. Let's have a look. Yep.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I mean that's all symmetry, though, right? That's just the fact that it can look at that and go, oh, there's two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and a head. So
that makes sense.
It's a symmetry recognition more than anything. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your phone starts smoking, no, my phone's fine. BJ says, I don't like dolls in general, but I'm only getting good vibes from Cammie. She's happy there. Well, good. I hope so. I certainly don't want it to be a dark, horrible thing. And I didn't introduce it to my home, just for a little clickbait. Our peace and sanity is much more important to me than that. So, yes. All right, to the article that I have kept talking about and never gotten to. Let me minimize this again a little bit so I can get everything in order here. What the hell? God.
Wow.
Bless it. That's a tutorial video on using there's a program that I use that actually farms for shorts on the 2-hour videos. And there's some walkthrough videos to kind of help you with that. And I've been using it, and it works okay. It's not great, not the greatest clips, I don't think, but it's okay. And it's more exposure. So, good God, is that the way I look sideways? I'm seeing my own profile in the feed there. That's disgusting. I never liked my profile at all, ever. I don't know if maybe nobody likes their profile. I don't know, but when I see myself sideways, I'm like, ooh.
I think it's pretty normal, to be honest. Yeah.
I always look way fatter on side profile, though. I feel like, I got like a long head, like from my front to the back. It's like almost alien, from the movies. It's almost xenophobe. It's like, you expect that other mouth to come out. All right. Anyway, I don't think Brent is scary. Oh, thank you, Al. I hope not. I don't ever intend to be scary or creepy or weird weird I'm okay with, but not the other. All right. So I'm going to get this article cooking and we're going to dive into it. So the first story we're going to be reading is called The Man in the Projection Booth. I don't think I read this one before. I might have. We might be doing a rerun here, but that's okay. It's not that long anyway. I used to work at a movie theater, and it was a crappy, cheap movie theater, if I can spit it out, that got all the movies after they were done at the bigger, nicer theaters. We always joked about a ghost that haunted the place. We'd always hear whistling. You could whistle part of a song, and you would hear someone whistle the rest. I kid you not. This happened. We kind of joked about it and then just went on with our lives. Well, one day I was up in the projection area and I heard someone say my name. And I yelled back, "What?" No answer. I walked down the stairs and asked my coworkers what they wanted, and they were slam busy at the front desk and lobby, and no one had come upstairs. Fine. Could be unexplained. It could be explained, right? I'm hearing things, right? Well, here's the freakiest part. My family doesn't celebrate Christmas like most families, so I would always volunteer to work the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And I was working the night shift on Christmas Eve alone, and I was waiting for 2 or 3 people to get done watching Lord of the Rings or something so I could go home. Well, after the movie was out, I ran upstairs, stopped the projector, and ran back downstairs to clean the theater. No one else was in the building at this point, and halfway through cleaning the theater, I get this feeling like, wow, I shouldn't be here right now. I look up and see a man-shaped shadow in the projection booth. Well, I ran out of the theater, turned off all the lights, and ran out the door. And I turn around and I see that there's a neon sign for coffee behind the snack bar that's still on. Well, I work up some courage and run back inside to turn it off. And I literally jump over the counter, turn the light off, and jump back to the door. By the time I'm at the door, I turn back around to see the light flickering back on. What the hell? I ran back and turned it off again, and I turn to my right, and I see a flash of light come from the middle of the dark lobby. I turned, ran, and never looked back. That was by Dark Tubi. Yeah, that's somebody just dicking with you at that point, right? That's horrifying.
That's horror movie content.
Right there. You know that's a hold my beer ghost moment there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, watch this. Hold my beer.
Oh my God.
You know that there's probably a couple of them in there going, wait, hold my beer, watch this. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, this one sounds, the mall self-unaliving ghost. I got to be YouTube appropriate with this. Sorry, folks.
That's dumb.
It is dumb, but it's just a term. I don't know why they're so weird about language, but anyway. Yeah. The mall I work at was built in the 60s, and I've been working there since 2004. I always joked with my coworkers about our store being haunted and never really took any strange happenings real seriously. In 2007, I was offered a job doing security for the mall and took it because it paid as much starting as I made as a manager at the store that I worked at. The only drawback, it was graveyard. Well, during this time, the mall was adding skylights, tearing down a Mervyn's, and building a Nordstrom. My first incident was early in the morning of Black Friday, a little after 3 a.m. I was driving around the parking lot and happened to see a large man in a security uniform in our office. We have an outside office with a glass door and a code lock. And normally this would be out of the ordinary, as we had several very cliche security guards. The problem was that the only other person working was a small Cambodian man. Well, I called my other officer over to report what I had seen, and he informed me that in 2005, a guard had passed away of a heart attack at the mall. He showed me a picture of what was posted in the lunchroom, and I was shocked to see the resemblance between him and who I had seen in the office minutes before. My coworker and I laughed about how we had an extra officer for backup and continued our shifts. A few months later, I was delivering something to the mall office when I heard an old man say behind me, "Excuse me, miss?" I turned around and said, "Yeah, what's up?" To find that no one was there. Now, mind you, I was in a locked back hallway, and I ran up and down that hallway searching for the source of this voice and found nothing to explain it. Now, most people don't realize how many self-unalivings actually happen at malls, but I know of 3 at my mall. One I actually found. And there used to be a police substation at one of the porches. I don't know what a porch is, but anyway. One day, for whatever reason, some African-American dude unalived himself with a gun in the head right next to the substation. While they were tearing down the substation and building new stores, a lot of strange things happened in that area. I saw a black gentleman frantically trying to get housekeeping's attention to no avail. The housekeeper had no idea what I was talking about. A tenant looked in a store window and saw a black man's reflection waving his arms next to her as we were walking. It happens in the same area of the mall as the self-unaliving. One night I went to unlock a service door on that very porch. As I approached, I started to smell a mixture of honey bucket and dead animal. When I opened the door, I found that a light had gone out in the hallway, and it was pitch black, or so I thought. A figure started to come towards me that was even blacker than the hallway, and the smell intensified. I actually ran back to the car, waving my hands in the air and screaming. This one, I think, was the worst. You know, how when you're in a well-lit room and you look in a window at night, all you see is your own reflection, right? Well, we were having a blizzard, and I was working by myself, and I decided to just go out for a smoke. As I was walking out, I happened to glance at my reflection, and there was some sort of animal behind me, a big one that I'd never seen before. I looked down and ran my tail back inside. And once I gathered myself, I started to think about what I was going to do, because there was no way in hell I was going to go back into that office. I thought, hey, I'll just drive around. Nope, the car keys are on the office desk. Okay, I'll just walk around the mall for a while and hang out with housekeeping. Nope, the mall keys are on the desk. Oh, screw this place, I quit. Nope, keys are on the desk. I waited in the snow during a blizzard for 3 hours until the next guard came on duty. Most recently, I saw someone sitting in a massage chair after hours in the unaliving area. And when I saw a kiosk chair move without making a sound, this is damn near impossible unless it's lifted off the ground. And that was the name. That was by Paulina Blart. Paul Blart, the mall cop. So she uses the name Paulina Blart. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I guess why not? I guess malls are just as... I mean, any place that there's a lot of people is just bound to be a case of haunting at some point. Anyway.
I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around this, because I'm not even decided on even what I believe on it, but the whole self-aliving thing, not the term, but I mean there's always stories about how someone self-alives in that area is just constant, like stuff going on. Like, there's so many stories that we've read about that idea.
Yeah.
And then the thought comes in of, okay, is it they're trapped, or is it kind of like you've said in the past, where, you know, there's a part of you that stays behind, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's that concept that I guess whatever's divine in us will return to the divine, and there's parts of us that are certainly not divine, our flaws, our character defects or whatever, and I don't think those parts return so much, and so maybe they get shed off like a layer that can't return to the source, and maybe those layers sometimes have enough energy or enough quantity that they can become a presence in and of themselves. So I think there's got to be something to that. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just a theory, but I think it makes sense to me.
Just makes me think, like, wait, that means that there's a consciousness that is essentially stuck, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me sad.
It is sad, I guess. You know, I don't know, and maybe all parts of us carry an imprint of life, and so they retain that life even after our passing, even though maybe the main part of us returns home, maybe some parts just can't, and so they have a journey of their own. Who knows? But you're right. I mean, it's got to be a fresh kind of hell, and I'm sure it lacks understanding and reason, and maybe it just seems like a disjointed nightmare for those presences. I don't know. B.J. Lapierre, author and illustrator, said a hotel I worked at had a man who unalived himself, hung in one of the rooms, and I asked front desk woman if someone died in the room. She confirmed I could still feel his presence there years after. Yeah, I mean, there's the other concept, the old unfinished business concept. You know, it's like whatever brought them to that point was so traumatic and so painful, and they just couldn't. I mean, the pain was so much more than they could bear, and so they made that one decision, that one horrible decision, to just stop it. And there's the concept of unfinished business, like they have to work through that before they can transition, and maybe that's very true too. It's anybody's guess. I don't know. We often throw ideas at this stuff because we're trying to make sense out of what's going on. You know, what is the dynamic of this? Why? Well, either those parts are shut off and they remain, or the actual spirit just can't move on until it works through whatever that is, and finds resolution or peace or release or whatever to release them from that pain. I think that you know, the consideration is that, look, I'm going to stop all this pain, but I don't think the pain stops. I think then the soul is just in a continual torment until you find your way through it. And, you know, that you find that you can forgive yourself, I think is probably the biggest takeaway. Like those souls just need to forgive themselves and let go and allow themselves to go to the next place.
Right.
Whatever that means. But yeah, thank you guys for your stories. I see some of your posting things in the chat. You're an hour late, Marie. That's okay. As long as you make it at some point, I am absolutely thrilled. But
that's right.
You know, you can make up time after class. That's right. There's some extra homework for you.
That's right.
All right. That might have sounded creepy now that I think about it. Sorry.
There's a tinge.
Yeah, that's not what it was intended. Sorry if that sounded really, really creepy and weird. I didn't mean it that way, but that's what my mouth produced. What's wrong with your mic?
I don't know. People are saying it was hard to hear me, so I put it closer to my mouth, and maybe that helps. So we'll see.
Well, you know what? I keep my mic literally, it's right here, like this far from my face. And people say you sound like me, so probably you have my same voice, and I gotta eat a mic just to be heard because I got a real soft voice, you know. And it's harder to hear, but if I'm really up in it, you can hear me. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that might help.
Yeah, so keep it close to your yapper.
That's right. There we go.
Egon Ray, retreat. Hello, Francis. Yeah, what you gonna do? All right. Let's continue on. We got another one to get to here. Thank you for your stories, though. If any of you got stories you want to let us know about, put them in the chat. All capitals really helps, though. And Sheldon, if you see those.
Yeah, just scream it at us.
Scream it at Sheldon. I'm reading, so I can't look at the chat too much while I'm reading, but Sheldon can.
Reading chat. Yeah, that's right.
Sheldon's the chat monitor.
That's right. Sheldon's
the Paul Blart of the chat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Paulina Blart. That cat cracks me up. All right.
Randozer says, Sheldon's audio, it sounds like the output is on a different setting.
I don't know what that means.
No? I don't know. I didn't change anything.
Nope. Just maybe crank your preamp a little bit if it's not already.
It's maxed.
Okay. Well, that's about as good as you do. And if the fader is up and it's maxed, that's about all you can do. You don't want to start clipping.
And so like this.
Yeah.
That's called clipping, ladies and gentlemen. When you overpower an audio signal, it's called clipping, and that's when you get that distorted voice.
Oh.
All right, the man in the hallway, number 17. In my childhood home, there was a bathroom in the hallway. If you looked in the mirror while washing your hands, you could see down the hallway towards the front door. Well, at night, I would often see a tall, bald man in a gray suit standing there out of the corner of my eye. That's not creepy at all. But he would disappear if I looked directly at him or turned around. We moved out of the house, but years later I told my mom about it, and surprised and a little scared, she said she saw the same thing for years. It was a little creepy, but I thought since we both saw the same thing out of the mirror in the same spot, it was probably a trick of the lights. Oddly enough, in a separate conversation with my little brother, he mentioned seeing a man in the hallway all the time. I chuckled and said, out of the corner of your eye in the downstairs mirror? He said, no, I'd see him at the opposite end of the same hallway, but when looking down from the stairs. What did he look like? He was tall and always wore a gray suit. That says diagram. What the hell does that mean? Oh, it's probably a map of the house. That's okay. I don't need that much information. What's weird is that for years we were all seeing the same man in the same hallway, but just kept our fear to ourselves. Not until half a decade later, after we moved out of the house, did we realize we'd all been experiencing the same thing. Yeah, that's a little bit creepy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was by Velotesk. I gotcha. Well, fascinating story. And that's really the thing. You know, I mean, honestly, with all of this weird stuff, the default for any of us is just, well, nobody's going to believe that. I'm just going to shut up about that. But probably more people than you realize, if you're in the same area, probably have similar stories. And you'd never know it unless you actually spoke and said, man, I just saw the strangest thing. I couldn't believe it. And see what people say. Oh, thank you, Marie.
Marie.
Bringing the love. Marie, your tardiness is now excused.
That's right.
All right. Good to see you, Grandizer. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Welcome.
All right. So that's very interesting. Number 18, there's only 2 more after this one, so I'm just going to read it through, and then we'll hit the what the hell is that, and then maybe a little cryptid corner. But let's get to this one. It all started with the noises. I added the word all, but it sounded better. So I know people don't believe in spirits, but I myself never did until I lived in this one house. It was a newer home too, so it was odd to me. Again, it doesn't have to be an old house to have hauntings. You can have brand new houses with hauntings.
True.
The land remembers where houses are built. There's history in the land. Unless your house floats, you're probably going to be prone to having some activity at some points. Just that's the way it works. A lot of people think, well, nobody died here. It can't be haunted. There was no tragedy here. It can't be haunted.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Part.
Yeah. They can just decide that your house is pretty cool and come and hang out. So don't fall for that wives' tale. Dang wives. They always got tails. All right. Here we go. It was a newer home, so it was odd to me. Perhaps it was just the energy left over from a long time ago. I don't know. But my entire family saw stuff. It first started out with noises. The first summer there, my sister and I were left alone all day while my parents worked. We were 15 and 10 at the time, and one day I heard coughing in my parents' room. My sister and I thought it was our father, and we thought maybe he was homesick. So all day we kept hearing coughing, and finally, after about 5 hours, I decided to peek in and ask Dad if he needed medicine. Well, there was nobody in the room. We went in to check the master bathroom, and nothing. No one was there. Then a few days later, we heard... Where the hell's my mouse? There it is. We heard the back shower open. It was one of those rolling kind that made quite a bit of noise. We heard it open and close, and we sat there waiting for my mom or dad to come out of the room, and again, nothing. They weren't home. Well, that summer my cousins visited, and they too heard the coughing and shower. We lived there for 5 years, and things got worse and worse over time. Tapping on the walls, my sister and her best friend were having a sleepover, and her friend saw someone walk out of my room. She said hi to me, but it wasn't me. My cousin saw someone walk out of the bathroom into my sister's room, and she thought it was me, but I was out front at the time. My aunt stayed over on a New Year's Eve once. She bitched at me and my sister out for walking all over her airbed and waking her up. We didn't do that. My mom was walking down the hallway in the early morning, and she thought my dad was behind her and asked if he wanted a full or half pot of coffee. When she got out of the hall, she turned to see a man in a plaid shirt that then ran past her. Oh, that's not creepy at all. Oh, jeez. My sister's friend stopped coming over because she was in my sister's room, and a Susan B. Anthony coin my grandpa had given her flew off the shelf and hit the wall, leaving a dent in the wall. My sister was walking out the door at the time and thought her friend who threw it. And she had been on the top bunk sitting down. Her friend got up and called her mom to leave right away and never come back over. My best friend stayed over once for a week, and she stayed in my room with her evil cat that absolutely hated me. I slept on the bottom bunk of my sister's bed, and my friend asked why I kept coming in the room to bug the cat, why I kept knocking on the walls, and why I would lay on the bed only to get up and leave. I did none of this. That cat hated me and would attack me. She said the cat would flip out and hiss and meow like I was in the room. Then one time I got up to go pee in the middle of the night in our bathroom. The way the mirror was, if you looked over your right shoulder while on the toilet, you could see into the kitchen. Well, that's a design flaw. Jesus. I always did this when I left the door open, and it was 3 a.m., so the door was left open, and I looked in the mirror, and I saw a man standing in the kitchen by the fridge. At first, I just thought it was my dad. Then he turned around like he knew I was looking, and there were no eyes, just dark patches, and he opened his mouth, perhaps to say something, I don't know. I stopped mid-pee and ran back into my room, all the while keeping an eye on the guy I never went to pee at night again. I was so happy when we moved. I have no clue what all that was, but so many people witnessed and saw things that it just wasn't my imagination. That was by Planty. Wow, that's creepy, huh?
Jeez. Yeah.
Let's set up the bathroom so that you can pee and look into the kitchen.
I think that's the scariest part of the whole story.
I know. It's like, I mean, you're hungry, and then you look down to the hallway and you see the reflection of somebody dropping a deuce. It's like, yeah, I'm not hungry. I'm good.
Also, before we move on to anything else, we need to thank Independent Puppy for the 10
Ooh.
pounds. I don't know what that is.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what that symbol is for money.
That's it's a Great Britain pound, Independent Puppy. Is that Great Britain money you just sent me? God bless you. That's, don't you cheer? I cheer. That was
God
cheer.
save the Queen.
Well, it's the king now. It's Charles.
God save the King.
Screw the king.
But,
Let's worry about the queen.
It was God save the Queen for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. BJ LaPierre says, we built our own house and moved in 2001, and it was haunted. LOL, they seem to be attracted to me, come to me, and some I see are just attached to the land itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Jose Sanchez says, does anybody here know or seen that black spirit that looks like a skirt or mop and hangs out at mausoleums? It usually floats up and then down as if on an elevator. It's quite bizarre.
Well,
I'm not really sure, honestly, Jose. I don't think I'm not familiar with that personally. That sounds absolutely creepy though, but I'm definitely not seen it.
yeah.
It's hard to know. I mean, I don't know that the physical shape that we perceive these things to be matters. Like, I think they can appear however they want to in a lot of cases. Like, they can be 8 feet tall, or they could be 3 feet tall, or a little ball. I think that shape is more a function of intent in their experience. But we're of course in meat suits, so our shape is pretty static. It's built into the physicality of our existence. But these are energetic beings, and I think they can appear like skirts or mops or any number of things in between. And yeah, that's very interesting though.
This is shown on Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Really? I don't think I've seen that episode. I just saw Ronnie LeBlanc just this last weekend again. Just a nice guy. I like Ronnie. He's such a cool guy. We met down at Vernal at a conference down there, and he's of course from Expedition Bigfoot, and he appears on Paranormal Caught on Camera. But it was good to see him again. We got to chat a little bit. It didn't have a lot of time, but
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, Jose, but I think that's fascinating. I don't know much about that personally, but I mean, any shadowy apparition could be a shadow person, could be a spirit that's trying to not maybe make itself as obvious, but then could be something dark and horrible. I don't know. I mean, there's number of ideas.
Is it? Rachel said Jose sounds Japanese. Is Is that anything like Japanese lore or stories related or anything like that you know of?
What is that? What
Rachel says, Jose, it sounds Japanese.
Oh, yeah,
So
I don't
is it
know.
like-
He said it's on YouTube though, so I guess we can, always peruse that and look to see what it is. But I can't do it live on the show here because that takes a lot of setup for me to get videos queued up and able to see. But I will try to look for that episode and see if I can find any kind of, I don't know, see anything that sticks out to me. But shadowy apparitions are pretty ambiguous, and it's not always one thing or anything specifically. It could be a shadow person, could be a normal human spirit, it could be something that was never human in the form of elementals or other things such as that. It's anybody's guess. And if I said what I thought it would only be speculation anyway, but I'm not familiar with it though. I don't know that it's a phenomena in and of itself that I'm familiar with, but I will tell you that depending on the region the video came from, there are regional phenomena that seem to be pretty consistent. Like certain areas have certain manifestations that seem consistent. Like in Thailand, a little girl wearing a red dress apparition is considered to be a horribly bad omen, like someone's going to die or something really bad is going to happen. And that's just one example. In Asia, a very common apparition type is the Samara from The Ring look, the woman in the white tattered night dress with the draping black hair. And that's a very Asiatic representation of spirits that seems to apparently happen. So I don't know for sure, but I think it's fascinating. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Seen more than once, sometimes in Mexico. I've seen in video reports. Okay. So it might be of Hispanic origin. Yeah. And it could be something regional. That might make more sense. All black and misty tentacle-like at the bottom. Yeah, that's very fascinating. I will try to find that video. If you have a link, you can send it to me, Jose. Just email it to paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. I'd love to see it. And it would certainly save me a lot of time if you sent me a link directly to my email. So if you don't mind, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com, send me a link. And that goes for any of you. If you guys find cool videos and you want me to take a look at, please send them to me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. In Japanese paranormal mythology, inanimate objects can come to life after 100 years. Suku Mogami are inanimate objects that gain a soul after 100 years of existence. Oh, that's very interesting. And I suppose, again, there's the idea of spiritual attachments, but there's also the idea that if something is cared for and loved, then all of that energy being injected to it, could it give it a sense of awareness? And would that be an egregore of sorts too? Just the idea that you love something so much, you're giving it so much of your energy and compassion and attention and reverence, and perhaps it creates a sentience or at least an energy. Japanese culture has deep understanding of the secret commonwealth. Yeah.
Wow.
Got to be an obake hunter. Obake is Japanese. Oh, for ghost, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
I did not know that. Okay.
Oh, I do. I did know that because a gentleman from Hawaii, Philip Torres, goes by the moniker Obake Hunter.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah. He's a nice guy. It's been a long time since we've talked, but yeah. All right. Literally, there's two more left, and I still want to get to I'll just get to a video tonight. We'll do some of the other videos another night, and then we'll do some Cryptid Corner because we're burning through the clock. The Silver Man, number 19. When I was 11 years old, I woke up one night and saw a man standing in my room, opening and closing my dresser drawers. See, now that just doesn't sound right.
What the? Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of like creepy, confused stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? I just want to open and close this. It's like a fragment of a person. Like it's not quite aware of what the hell's it doing or why it's doing what it's doing, but it's doing something. And that's where I come up with that fragment idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was tall, pale, and shiny, but he looked corporeal. Not translucent or ghostly or anything. I couldn't move at all, But I peed myself instantly. I shut my eyes as tight as I could, but when I opened them, he was still there, opening and closing drawers. I kept my eyes closed for a long time, and finally, after what seemed like hours, he was gone. The next morning, a lot of my shirts and pants were tied in knots. Oh, God. That's just wrong. I came to the conclusion that I had a very vivid imagination, and perhaps my sister played a joke on me by tying my knots, closing knots. Flash forward 15 years, we had long since moved out of that house, and no one had lived there since. I stopped by one day with my mom and 2 aunts who had lived in the same house when they were kids. When we walked into my bedroom, my mom and older sister started teasing my younger aunt about the silver man she saw one time. My jaw hit the freaking floor. Yikes.
Whoa.
That was by Sci-Fi Wrestler. All right.
Oh, and the brain blows up at that moment.
Yeah, that's definitely a cerebral rupture right there. Don't raise your hand. No, she's not crazy. Number 20, something horrible. My parents were renting an old farmhouse behind which was an old barn. It had the big double doors which led to the main barn area, but it also had doors on the exterior of the barn which led to a small rooms, most of which stored old lumber, hay, etc. Well, on this particular day, it was very sunny outside, so a lot of light was coming in through one of the windows next to the door through which I entered into the room. There was a pile of hay in the far corner. The room couldn't have been more than 12 feet by 12 feet. Above the hay was a misty form which had the very clear shape of a woman floating above the haystack. She had on a milkmaid type of dress, and her head was cocked to the side and her eyes were wide open. My first thought I remember very distinctly, and it was, I'm seeing something horrible and I shouldn't be seeing this. I don't remember seeing a rope, but in retrospect, I know that she was unalived, either self or done by somebody else. My mother remembers me running into the house telling her that I saw a ghost. The funny thing is that I didn't think it was a ghost until about halfway to the house.
Shade.
Halfway to the house. It says shade. It was a shade. That's interesting because ghosts are sometimes referred in older language as a shade.
Oh.
That's interesting. It was a shade. Yeah, clearly. Anyway, the funny thing is I don't think it was a ghost until about halfway to the house. I've thought about going back to that house many times throughout the years, but my mother can't remember the name of the road we lived on. I remember my grandmother telling my mother that the house had a terrible fire some years after we moved. And that was by Dr. Monroe, 30. Or Dr. Monroe. Could be Dorothy Ray Monroe. Or Moreau. Sorry. Moreau. Yeah. So I don't know. I just see Dr. and think doctor, but I don't know if it's doctor, really.
I thought doctor as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be anything. And if her name actually did turn out to be Dorothy Ray, I get the prize. Just saying.
That's right.
I get the prize. Yeah. So that's this article. And again, that's the article is Eric Redding. And he did a hell of a job on this gathering of fantastic stories. So phenomenal. Check out Thought Catalog. Thought Catalog is just so cool. They used to have a lot more paranormal stuff than they do now, but you can still find a hell of a lot of archived articles or older articles dealing with the spooky, weird stuff. Now it's more based around horror and pop culture, which is still fine. But I really love the paranormal files they used to have. Try asking her what her name is. Maybe she'll answer through the ghost box. Oh, Justin Goodearth, talking about the doll. Try.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Hey, can you say your name through the ghost box on the computer?
Please do.
If it does, I will probably collectively crap myself. That would be so intense. Hi, Brent. Went on my first live tonight. Oh, you were on as a guest, Amanda? Is that what you're saying? That's wonderful. Well, congratulations. I hope it went well.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
Excellent.
Good for you. Whose show were you on? Feel free to put it in the chat so people can check it out. I will try to check it out as well. I thought I heard you were going to be on somebody's show. Was it Brian's or someone else's? I don't remember, but I thought I did hear that you were going to be on someone's show.
Ooh,
Yes, as a guest. Yeah, very cool.
well done.
What could have been? Cool, Amanda. Oh, Barbara over in Rumble, in Rumble says, cool, Amanda. Yeah, that is really cool. Very cool. I think that's wonderful.
That's awesome. Well done, Amanda.
You guys are all awesome. I think you'd all make great guests. That's why I've always told you guys, if you got like some stories you want to share, I'd love to have you on my podcast as a guest.
Yes,
It'd be wonderful
absolutely.
to interview any of you guys.
Oh yeah, Amanda says yes, Phil.
It was what?
Oh, Amanda's.
She's talking to Phil.
No mind.
YouTube is the same as your name. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda. What show was it you were on? Please let us know.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Absolutely.
Or was it on yours? Did you do your own live? Is that what you're saying? I don't know.
She says guest.
Yeah, she was a guest, so that means she was a guest on someone's show. Someone got to Amanda first. I'm a little Abnormal Investigations. Oh, very cool.
Oh, nice.
Well, I will definitely try to check that out. I'm going to make a note. Abnormal Investigations. Abnormal Investigations. I'm going to go watch Amanda. Investigations. I am always writing YouTube channel. Amanda interviewed. Okay. Because if I don't write out what it is, I'll be like, what does that mean? Later when I come back to it. So, all right. Very good. Okay. Hi, Jessica Mink. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Welcome in. Hi.
BJ saying, I'm doing another live on this Tuesday. I'll be on Old Line Cryptids, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Very cool. Congratulations, you guys. Wonderful. I was so nervous, but then I wasn't. Good. Yeah, I'm glad it went well. Congratulations. I think it's wonderful when you guys are able to get on shows and talk to people about your experiences. Let me minimize this because we got to do at least one of these things, right?
Is the video?
Time for the video.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize I never put it over here. Let me see if I can do that. I'm going to see if I can do that right now. I don't remember. That's weird. Okay, I'll do it from this screen. Hold on. I'll do it from this screen. That's not the one. It's not the Cryptic Corner yet because it's time for this one. Nope, not that one. This one.
What the hell is that?
Indeed. What the hell is that? Well.
Oh, nice. You got like a thing for it. Nice.
Yeah, you just. Oh, yeah. I suppose you wouldn't even know that, would you?
I haven't seen it yet. Awesome.
That's what happens when you're not showing up. Hey, Steve Biff Saunders. Good to see you, man.
I've been busy.
Eric Red came in on YouTube. Good to see you. And
welcome in.
Steve Biff Saunders is over on Facebook. Wonderful you guys are here. I haven't seen many over on X tonight. So if you're watching from X, say hello. So that way I know it's working. I can't like audit these things in real time. So I just hope they're all coming, working good, but it's anybody's guess.
True.
Always check the feet. Interesting, Eric Red. Eric the Red was a Viking, wasn't he? Abnormal Investigations. Yeah, we'll check it out, Amanda. I'm really happy for you, though. Okay, that's right. You have a podcast on Spotify. What's your favorite one? I'd be down. Spent months around Mount Shasta. It's not just on Spotify, Matt. My podcast is on every platform: iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google, Castbox, Stitcher, Podbean. Every podcast platform has the Paranormal Portal. In fact, if you have a phone and you don't have Spotify, every phone comes with a podcast button on it, whether it's Android or Google or iPhone. Just hit that and type in Paranormal Portal, and you'll find my playlist. I don't really have favorite episodes. I got some that were real groundbreaking to me. Like, I feel like it was something I was very interested in looking into, but couldn't find the subject matter, but then did. And one of them was a vampires episode with Phil. When we did the podcast episode, he wanted to be called Paul because he wasn't sure he wanted to be out front of it. But now he's been okay with it. But you may know him as, what is it, Mound Builder, something Mound Builder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's him. He's the one that had the the incredible incidents with what I believe to be vampires. And
It's such a wild story too. My lord.
did you listen to that whole episode?
No. Just from what what you told me. Like we
Oh,
talked
yeah.
over the phone about it. And it's just wow.
It really was. It was really crazy. I was so happy. But
Yeah.
I love talking to anybody that's got experiences. So very cool. All right. So we're going to do the what the hell is that? Because I got some things to show you and see what you guys think about what the hell is that. The first one, oh shit, I didn't want to start that yet. Let me do this. I mean, shoot. This is one that I think might be a great representation. There's a lot of people that think Dogman is not really a physical thing, that it's more spiritual. It may be able to manifest as a physical thing, but the jury's still out for a lot of people. And honestly, it's hard to know what to do with stuff like that. Like, well, is it or isn't it? This isn't the greatest representation, but it's one that I found today. And it was really, really widely played and checked out. Unfortunately, it's really cropped, and I don't know why they cropped it for this video channel. The video channel is Red's Creepy Clips on Facebook, but I think this one's pretty fascinating. And if you watch, so what you'll start to see is here in the background, I've got to get this down so I can see what the hell's going on. I got screens and then screens. So what you'll see up here, what looks like kind of a mist moving through, but then when you watch, you can actually see articulating mist-like legs walking of some creature that's probably around 10 feet tall or better. And are you familiar with this one, Sheldon?
I might be actually.
So this
Maybe.
was an African American guy, a black guy. He's got this do-rag on and stuff, and he's talking about, man, out in my backyard. He's on his iPhone, or his cell phone, live streaming about it on Facebook, as a matter of fact. And he's out of Florida. He's like, man, I saw something out in my backyard, some kind of creature. It's crazy. I don't know what to do about it. He's like, you guys wouldn't believe it, but I'll show you. It was right back here. He opens the back door and shows everybody where he saw this. And then this happens. Watch in the background. And it's kind of going slow frame by frame here. But it zooms in a lot, which is unfortunate. Oh, God, stupid. Here it comes. Watch. You can actually see like legs being articulated as it walks by. There. Did you catch that? Here it is again.
Whoa. Yep, I've seen this one. Oh.
Look at those legs. That thing's got to be like 8 feet tall or something around there. This is a telephone pole out back. And, I don't know if you know about telephone poles, but they're about 20 feet tall, I guess. And this thing's out near the 10-foot mark, like halfway. And I think this is a pretty fascinating video and showing a potential semi-manifestation of something that may choose to be physical, but may not. But those legs, those are definitely more digigrade, is the way to say it. There's plantigrade legs like ours, where our knees are forward, and then the claim is the digigrade legs are knees backwards. But I think that's more like their ankle. Like if you look at a dog's leg, their thigh bone is up on the back, and then they have a knee, but it's still going through their torso, and then it goes down to like an elongated ankle to a toes. And people think that's a backwards knee, but it's really not, I don't think. Oops, we went on to a no video. But anyway, that's the first one. This one's Mr. Ballin. I think that's the Eliza Lamb. That's pretty.
Mr. Ballin.
So that's Mr. Ballin, but that's not part of our show. But the next one I wanted to show you guys for what the hell is that. I think that one's a really cool video. There's a better version of it out there. I know Dark Waters did a lot of work with the guy and helping to showcase what he had seen, and you probably can catch much better version of it on Dark Waters channel on YouTube. So check that out. But I think it's just fascinating. The guy caught something, and it definitely is making strides. Like it's something walking and covering ground. It's not just a weird mist moving through. So whatever it was he caught, I don't know, but I don't think I would ever go out that back door again in my life.
I mean, it kind of makes me think that it can be either or.
Yes.
You know, kind of spiritual and misty, or it can
Yes.
manifest a physical self kind of thing.
Right. Right, exactly. And I think that's true. Now, this video is kind of my hoaxy video that I want to talk about tonight. And this one kind of pissed me off, actually. And it's being put out there by French Toast Pappy on Facebook. I don't think it's his video, but it's the one that he's showcasing as a paranormal video. I will play the sounds. I will play the noise so you guys can see. The noise that's captured on this video, or that's portrayed on this video, did not come from this video. It did not. I will guarantee it with my soul, because I know where it came from. And you guys, if you've been around a while, you've heard it before. But here we go. This is the video. And I don't know if that'll work. I can't cue these things up really good through the reels. I try, but it doesn't always let me. But anyway, here is the video. You be the judge, but I'm here to tell you this sound is not correct. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to bring down the volume a little bit because that's a...
She was walking out the...
And then it goes to a different sound, and you see something peeking out back here. I don't know that any of this is legit or not. It's just, it could be. Yeah, enough of that guy. That's the video. Here, I'm going to show you where the video sound actually comes from. And it's a compelling video. It's from like 17 years ago. I stumbled on it probably right around the time that I started doing the Paranormal Portal. That's why I was like, no. That is not the sound from this video. The video sound comes from somewhere else. And I put that in the comments of the thread, and some people are like, oh, do you have receipts? Can you show me receipts? Well, yes, I can. And here's the receipts. I'm gonna play this video, folks. This remains to be one of the worst sounds I've ever heard in my life. One of the most disturbing sounds I've ever heard in my life. The video itself is like 2 minutes long. I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble or not, but I do want to showcase this because this is where the sound actually came from. What? No. No. I copied too much. I ended up copying my text along with the actual link.
Derp. Sorry. I derped out a little bit.
Damn it. Now where did I do with it? Here, it's got to be over here. There it is. Let me grab the actual URL this time. I grabbed too much. There it is. Copy. And I'm going to paste it. We'll do this again. Let's backspace that. Let's do this. Paste. And then I'm going to have to stop it. No, don't give me an ad. Don't give me an ad. Damn ads. I don't pay for the extra. All right, I got to unmute it now. I'm going to drag it over to the window. You guys can see it. This is the actual root file from 17 years ago. And it's all kinds of disturbing. I got to actually shrink it. Different monitor sizes, different resolutions. Here we go. All right, here is the sounds. And I'm going to put it up on screen. It's going to be some text that you got to read. This still today is one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard in my life. And I think if I heard this in real life, I would probably leave fudge stripes all the way back home, because whatever made this noise, I don't want to see it. But here it is. Here it is, folks. This is the one. All right. These sounds were recorded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is from Dan Garvey's channel. He's only got 2.87 thousand subscribers. This video, however, has over 2 million views. But when I found this video, it only had like 100 views. Back I don't know, it wasn't 17 years ago, but in about 2016, 2017 is when I found it. But here it is. So there's just text. You're going to see the text. The sounds are what still bother me. The homeowner complained of noises coming from the basement in the middle of the night. A digital audio recorder was placed in the basement to record any sounds. This is a researcher. After 3 days of no suspicious audio, we recorded something interesting. The audio was amplified 20 times. Nothing else was done to the audio. That still, I've heard this sound thousands of times. It still gives me chills right now as I'm listening to it. It makes me cringe because you're hearing agony, you're hearing torment, you're hearing rage, you're hearing pain. And it sounds like what I would imagine a demon would sound like. Is that not disturbing, Sheldon?
Oh, immensely.
Yeah.
The power behind that sound too.
Yeah, it's just so terrible. Grandizer says, "Thanks, Brent, so much for sleeping tonight." I know. Believe me, I'm only trying to tell you guys. But the reason that I'm showcasing this is not to necessarily highlight the sound. I want to highlight how these sounds get used and reapplied. I don't know how many videos of the man mushroom hunting, hearing the roar, and then the police getting out of the car, getting scared at the cemetery and running back because of some strange scream. I think most of those are bunk. Most of those are garbage. They're taking these sounds from somewhere else. This, however, I am convinced, at least from what I can discern of it, I think this is a real recording by a paranormal investigator. He said they recorded for 3 nights, but the case was, they were notified because the family was being awoken.
I wonder why they can't sleep.
Oh, now I know. And now you know. Because of that, whatever the hell that is. So, that's just...
Well, if you had to guess, what do you think made it?
I mean, it's some kind of demonic tormented soul. I mean, it's literally when I heard that, I was like, no. No. I mean, and I like I said, I've heard it literally hundreds, if not 1,000 times by now, because I play it a lot when I'm talking to people, and it's, the sound is just so agonizing to listen to that it's hatred, it's pain, it's agony, it's sadness, and it's mournful. It's like a whole jumble of emotions, and all of them are not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I do hear those tones in it.
Yeah. You know, if my doll cries like that, it's going in the garage.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. But I just wanted to, it's reused material is exactly right. People are taking this stuff. They're ripping it off. They're ripping it off. And that's what I don't like. And that's to conflate what they're doing and how cool their video is. Well, they're ripping it off. And I don't think that, there's no integrity in that. So I wanted to showcase that. So when you see these videos of these horrible sounds and screams, I don't know how to tell you to research it. The only thing is I know that sound because I saved the sound file of it. I've got it in a WAV file on my other computer, and it disturbs the hell out of me every time. So there it is. That's bloody terrifying. I'm watching this at 4:51 a.m. in Wales, and I think I need the toilet. Wish me luck. Sorry, Roy. Just know that it was from this video was from 17 years ago. And I don't know what the resolution was. I don't know what happened then. I guess he found his evidence of why they couldn't sleep. But at any rate, creepy as F.
Have there ever been any follow-up to the person who heard these sounds?
Not that I know of. If there has been, I don't know. But again, when I found it, it was already, a decade old, or, maybe almost a decade old, and it only had 100 views on the whole video. So it wasn't like it was, this is my scam and I'm going to put it out there and, become famous. This person didn't get any exposure. But I think I've helped to expose it, honestly, through the years, because I've played that several times on the show. And some of you guys are going to recognize that, probably Rachel or Some of you, I think MCAT probably, if he's still here, remembers that. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase that. That was tonight's episode of...
What the hell is that?
But now it's time for... With the last 5 minutes, we're going to cover one story. So the cryptid corner is going to be a very, very small corner tonight, but we're going to cover one story from our wonderful friend, Mr. Wes Germer's SasquatchChronicles.com, and we'll dive into this now. And it's maybe we'll get 2 of them in. I got 4 of his to go through tonight, but that one's going to be too long. Yeah, 1 or 2, we'll see. But we're going to get to this now. Here we go, folks, for the cryptid corner, and this is our investigation into the cryptozoological subjects such as Bigfoot, Dogman, Loch Ness Monster, pale crawlers, and any other number of things, Mothman, etc., etc., etc. So here we go. It's time for the cryptid corner. This one's from Sasquatch Chronicles blog, ladies and gentlemen. And special thanks to Wes for letting us use it. Check out his blog, guys. It's really an incredible resource. He's always posting articles every day, so check it out. June 20th, encounter from British Columbia. Here you go, Chucky. It's up in your neck of the woods. A listener writes, I've been a long-time listener, and I love your podcast. I had an encounter a few years back, roughly 2014, in Mission, British Columbia. I was house sitting with a now ex-girlfriend, and we were house sitting on a small hobby farm, a sheep, couple goats, horse, chickens, and 2 dogs. My girlfriend had left for work fairly early in the morning, so I was left to feed the animals and take them out into the field. All the animals were acting rather strange, and at the time, I didn't think anything of it. Later on that night at around 9, it was dark out, and the 2 dogs were inside with me, and one of the dogs bolted for her crate. I thought that was odd because usually we had to use treats to get her in the crate at night, while the other dog avoided all eye contact with the window that faced the garage across the driveway. So I walked over and looked out that window and saw the silhouette of something. It was bipedal, every bit of 9 feet tall. I saw it from the side, so I couldn't tell how wide it was, but it walked in front of the garage, and I could tell that it was hairy from the silhouette. My first instinct was to grab a flashlight and run out on the back deck and shine the light where I saw it, and I saw no trace of whatever it was. It made no sound. I didn't smell anything that stuck out, keeping in mind that I was on a farm, so it never smelled great anyway. I went out first thing in the morning to check on the animals, and everything looked like it was in order. I saw no tracks. Well, that's crazy. Yeah. There you go, Chucky. Chucky's kind of a researcher in his own right up there in the British Columbia, and an incredible guy. If you guys ever want to listen to a great podcast, check out the Ultraviolet Bigfoot that Chucky did with me on the Portal podcast. That was a great episode. Very interesting ideas. He's one of those guys that not only is interested in this stuff, his mind's going 100 miles an hour towards understanding it. So he's very much a kindred spirit, but I think he even puts me to shame. So he's the one that introduced me to the whole the uncanny valley idea. I'd never heard that before, but Chucky was like, oh, question of the week, uncanny valley. I'm like, what the hell is that? But anyway, I think that is going to be it for tonight, folks. My eyes are starting to burn, so I don't think I could read another article. Anyway, Sheldon Thomas, did you have a good time?
I always have a good time, and I had an amazing time tonight with the amazing community that is the Paranormal Portal.
I did too. Jose Sanchez says, oh, it just scrolled up. I got to see it. I once had a haunting happen to me at a job. It was murmuring sounds of people behind the wall, but you can't make out what they're saying, like when you're in a crowded cafeteria or diner. I was scared. I don't blame you, Jose. That would freak me out too.
Every time I got to the wall to hear it, the volume quickly came down. Happened 4 times when I was there in the warehouse area.
Yikes. Oh, there was a
Whoa.
part 2. I didn't see part 2.
Ooh.
Wow. Good catch there, Mr. Sheldon Thomas.
Of course.
Of course. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Love to have you stick around and be a part of these shows. Again, these live shows happen every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So 3 nights on all the platforms you might be watching now. But if you're only watching on one, you can find these shows on Facebook, X, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, X, that is X, Twitter, Twitch is what I keep trying to say. Twitch. And of course, YouTube. So those are the platforms I'm streaming on now. I'll stream on more as soon as I can. I just got to get the followers so I can stream on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So if you guys have Instagram or TikTok, please find me there and become part of my group so that I can qualify to stream live on them as well. Might as well just go for broke. I'm gonna go everywhere they'll let me in the door. I'm like a bad kitten. So anyway, Taz is over there. Glad I caught the last story. Yeah, amen, Taz. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Give our love to the family. Taz has been with me forever too. She's a long time part of the show. So just a great family here. You guys have made this incredible family, and thank you so much for being here. Every one of you, I just want you to know that I appreciate the hell out of you. I mean, I do these shows to try to entertain you as well as I know how, and to have fun and to laugh and kick back and enjoy it. You know, we dive into some deep topics and some really sad stuff sometimes, but I like to have as much fun with it as we can without making it a hucky yuck fest. You know, that's never the approach of the show. I always take this stuff very seriously, but I think you got to lighten the mood and keep it fun. So I hope you guys are liking it. If you have ideas you'd like to see on the show, please email me, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. If any of you out there have stories you'd want to mind being a guest on the podcast, check out paranormalportal.net and hit the interview me button. That'll launch my calendar app, and you can pick a date and time that work for you, and you could be a guest. So those are some options anyway. But what did Mike really want to know why? It says, really want to know why. Really want to know why? What, Mike? I don't know what you're saying. Mike Prine, I don't know what you mean. I don't see your first comments that you wanted to know, so I'm sorry. But Rumble, cool. You got it, Matt. We're on Rumble. Absolutely. Got people over on Rumble right now. We got Justin Goodearth, Big D, Barbara Mora, Car Juice is over there, and Dog Digger are all over there on Rumble right now, hanging out, watching the show. So, all right. Love you guys all. And, hello to everybody else that I can't see, but thank you so much for joining us. Sheldon, anything in closing?
Yeah, just as Rachel said right in the chat, discord.gg/paranormalportal. Go ahead, check out the community, check out the great discussions. And guys, yeah, there's still plenty of time for tomorrow's question of the week that Chucky does every single week. Stay a part of the discussion, get your opinions out there. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And of course, paranormalportal.net for all show information that is relevant. And make sure to find us on the socials. Love for you guys to follow the show and follow me and help me to bridge those gaps so we can start streaming on even more platforms. So I need your love for that. I'm not good at social media. I'll just be the first to say it, but I'm happy if you want to help me out. So that's it for us. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. I'll see you next time, which is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. right here, wherever you're watching. Just come back tomorrow. I'll be here. Good night, everybody. Take care. And until next time. Where's the button? Where's the button?